Hi everyone, Madonna here. I just wanted to check in with everyone around the planet and see how you're all doing. Let me know below what's going on in your part of the world. I know we're so fortunate here in Australia and Queensland. We've had no new cases in the last 2 days and all of our hospitals are ready, but we haven't had anything overrun at this stage. I've been listening to so many doctors and scientists and politicians, and there is so many conflicting views about what is going on with this virus. So I'm sure it's creating a lot of fear and anxiety and stress and confusion in everyone, especially people who have had to be in survival and run on their instinct most of their life, because what that does is pops the body into survival. So then we can't think. It's harder to take in that information and comprehend what's going on. Really, what we know is that this is a contagious virus. Contagious viruses, we've had them before. So we need to protect ourselves. We need to boost our white blood cells. Think about what you can do in your body. This is where you get your control. They know it messes with the heme receptors. So the heme receptors are all about the oxygen going around in your body. So some doctors are saying this is acting like altitude sickness. And one of the things that we did before we went to Machu Picchu a few years ago was took heaps of a biglycinate iron. So there are some really good forms of iron. If you are iron deficient, you're probably going to be in a higher risk. So if you know you're iron deficient, look at your diet, look at your vitamin C, get yourself an iron supplement. It doesn't have to be a big deal, but start thinking iron. Google, what's high in iron and start eating them. The green leafy veggies, the things high in vitamin C help to absorb your iron. So iron and the heme receptors, really important to get that oxygen. Water. Filtered water is H2O. You need your hydrogen, you need your oxygen. So without your oxygen, we're not going to be feeling comfortable and safe. Oxygen is an amazing nutrient in our body. You have to think of it like a nutrient. If you're not drinking enough water, your body isn't going to be working as well as it should. And you're not going to be able to filter any viral toxins if your body does actually start fighting off this virus. They know that the ACE receptors are affected. That seems to be the way that the lung, so there are some ACE receptors in the lungs, but there's also in other areas of the body. So anyone on ACE inhibitor drugs seem to be highly affected by this. So when I think about receptors in the body, so I've said this before, on every cell of the body, you've got 500,000 receptors, and those receptors are for everything. So they're for your magnesium and zinc and for insulin and glucagon, and they're for oxygen, and they're for, just everything, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline. They're for fear hormones and anger hormones and you name it, our little receptors. They are a little blueprint of what we are going through in our life and what we need. So cleaning the receptors is about your thoughts. Remember the secret many, many years ago? Your thoughts can change the receptors on your cell membrane. If you are breathing and thinking love and light and hope and happiness and joy, those things, you will have more receptors for happiness and peace. If you're feeling stressed and anxious and angry and fearful, you will have more receptors on your cell membranes for those things. So that's why meditation is so powerful for us. There are so many free meditations online that you can do to sort of bring yourself back into a peaceful place. Meditation is powerful. So with the receptors, what cleans the receptors off? Part of my belief system is obviously I believe that things like acupuncture, kinesiology, Reiki, that sort of thing, positive thinking, I believe these sort of things help to clean your stress off your receptors. Your body still has to deal with these hormones as they're released through the body. So sometimes after treatments, people will feel great for a couple of days and then start feeling a bit angry or fearful or this or that because the hormones have left the cells and they're now in your body. You're feeling them again. So being aware of that when you're doing a detox. So yeah, so like I say, I think body work is incredibly important for cleansing the receptors. Green leafy veggies, the darker the green, the better. So greens are often, as we know, the sulforaphane. It's one of my favorite products. So sulforaphane products are in things like broccoli sprouts, wasabi, any of the cauliflowers, those sort of things. So sulforaphane is incredibly beneficial at cleaning your receptors and protecting your genes and your cells. And I did see a scholarly article, it wasn't a study, it was a scholarly article on sulforaphane and the benefits for COVID-19. So it's one of those things, can you add that into your life? How can you get it in so it's yummy and delicious and you love it? The cell membranes, protect them. So that's about essential fatty acids. It's about vitamin A, D, E. It's about fish oils. It's those sort of things. So protect your cell membrane so this sticky, nasty little virus can't get in there. Once the virus hits, though, we need D and C. Lots of them, and zinc. So you would have seen with the chloroquine, there's been some doctors out there talking about chloroquine and zinc sulfate, the combination of them. So the chloroquine, for whatever reason, seems to allow the zinc to get in there and kill the virus. So there seems to be a connection there. I'm not sure how chloroquine on its own goes. I haven't seen that as a study at this point. Anyway, so it's Wednesday here in Australia, and it's a perfect autumn day. I think hubby and I are about to go for a nice 7-8K run after this. So take care, be well. I'm thinking of you all the time. Oh my goodness. Every morning I'm hopping. I shouldn't do this because then it's on my mind. But every morning I'm getting up and I'm looking at the statistics because part of me is thinking we must be getting these stats wrong. What are we including in these statistics that may not actually be this COVID-19? Perhaps, I don't know, but perhaps the tests aren't as sensitive as they need to be. Perhaps, certainly at the G8 meeting with all the heads of so many of the countries, the guy from Germany was actually saying that he didn't believe it was sensitive enough and that the antibody test wasn't sensitive enough. So he sort of said, so if we don't have a test that says accurately whether we've had it or not, and if we don't have antibodies to show whether we've beat it or not, how are we going to ever break this? So it's sort of interesting. So that was in Business Weekly, I think, last week or the week before. So, I think there's some shenanigans going on with the statistics. I'm not saying it's not a nasty bug. It's obviously very sticky, very nasty, and once it hits people, it hits them hard. But nonetheless, in the world of natural medicine, think medicinal mushrooms, think your vitamins, your minerals, your iron, your cleansing your cell membrane, softening your cell membrane so nutrients can get in, waste products get out, drink plenty of purified water, green teas, things that will help you to detox and work through. Make sure you meditate every day. Spend 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes morning and night just sitting and breathing. You can do alternate nostril breathing, do you know about that one? So that one's sort of like when you breathe in and out, and in and out. And if you do that, what it's doing is creating this energy from your logical to creative hemispheres of your brain. So doing that for a couple of minutes can be incredibly beneficial, getting your brain to just feel switched on. When you're doing your meditation, don't forget to put your hand on your forehead. It helps to bring blood supply to the frontal cortex. So we need to start thinking about what we want to change in our life at the end of all this. Because we have had so much taken away at the moment that we're not allowed to do, what is it we're really missing? What is it we really want to do once all this is over? Is there, has this increased a passion of yours? Has this made you think about things in your life which you hate and you don't want to do them anymore? There must be something that you go, oh, it's such a joy not to have to do this thing. Or shopping, what was it really doing for me? So there'll probably be something, and I think now's a perfect opportunity to look at what the benefits are in our world and in our hearts and for us moving forwards. Okay, take care. See you later.